I'm gonna show you the new easiest way to get Lux items or Tron items or whatever you call them, or Aura gear um in Descenders updated 2025. So this is the new 2025 version. It's kind of like the old ones, but basically there's like a couple new tricks. So let's get started. So the gear I'm wearing right now is some Lux gear, and you're definitely gonna want to use that. So first you want to get down to last stand, and then you want to go to career plus, click on desert, and then so first all we need to do is first get only one checkpoint and don't get any other checkpoints, and then we can start flipping and doing some other tricks. Just don't go too crazy, because then you'll die because you only have one life. And if you guys are wondering why I am on one life, it's because if you're on last stand, I think it multiplies your rep, or like you get like twice as much rep. And so right now I'm using the enduro bike. Definitely do not use the downhill bike, because you're going to want to be doing a lot of tricks, and the downhill bike is definitely not meant for tricks. So I'll show you why we only got one checkpoint. It's because if we come over here, we don't want to go to the finish line yet, and we want to respond to the very beginning, so we can keep doing this over and over again, just so we can probably get like a lot of reps. So let's just keep on doing this until we get to like maybe about like 10,000 rep. I like to aim for like 10 or 15,000 rep every level, which sounds like a lot, but really it isn't a lot. And first you just want to, you'll probably have to do like 25 backflips or 20 or 30. It's probably not really that hard, but if you're a beginner, maybe. But I've been playing Descenders for a long time, so I'm not really that big of a beginner. So let's just keep on getting rep, and hopefully we can make it to like 15k or 10k at the end of this. So what we're aiming for is either 50,000 rep or 100,000 or 150,000 or 250,000, which 250,000 is a guaranteed extraordinary item, which is the rarity of the Lux bike. And there's like 50 extraordinary items, 20 extraordinary items, and it just guarantees an extraordinary item, but definitely not a Lux item. So it's gonna be an extraordinary item if you get an 100% chance if you get to 250k rep. But the good thing is a lot of the extraordinary items are really cool, like the Christmas lights, or probably like maybe like the okay. So here's the next step. You wanna get the crew member Fakey Balance, and you might be asking, why do we want to get Fakey Balance? And that's why. And why is because we want to find levels that are either have no steepness, 2 steepness, or 1 steepness. Just to play it safe, I'm gonna go with the one with no steepness at all. So okay. So the first thing I want to do is do the same thing we did last time and get one checkpoint, and you're about to see how fast our rep will go up. So let's do that, and then we can start doing our Fakey, and you're about to see right now what's gonna happen. So first we need to keep jumping until our multiplier turns to 3 times, like that, so we can get like 3 times the rep. So now you're about to see how much rep we're starting to get, and the Fakey Balance just makes it so much easier, and this is like the way to get rep. Like, I'm sure that even like No More Robots or Descenders themselves even post like a video on how to do this, and they said that that you have to do this Fakey Balance. And you can already see we just started this level and we're already getting thousands and 10,000s of rep. So be careful though, because if you go too fast, then you might lose control. And also you don't want to go into this little barrier, because then that will just ruin everything and it'll kill you. So just don't do that. So okay, let's go ahead and do this one more time. Actually, we'll do it like 5 more times just to get as much rep. So we're already at 21,000 rep, and hopefully by the end of this we can make it to about like 40,000 rep, which sounds like a lot, but it's not that much whenever you're doing fakies. But if you're starting off from 0 without the fakey, it's actually kind of hard. And this is this is kind of difficult, but if you wanted to, you could even start doing flips, which is kind of it's kind of a risk, but it does get you a lot of rep if you're trying to do this and you're trying to get to like 3 times on your multiplier or something. You just want to do it way faster. So we made 9,000 rep out of that, and that's just one run. So let's probably do about like 3 more times or until we get to 40,000 rep. So first, I think we can start doing this again now. And let's try to get it back to that 3 times on the multiplier. And you can see that little multiplier on the bottom. So now that we're at 3 times, we can start doing this again. And all we need is basically about around 10,000 more rep in order to get to 40,000, which is basically just this run. And we're about to make it to 10,000. So let's go ahead and get that 10,000. Also, crew members play a really big part in this while trying to do this. Like the landing impact, that's like one of the best ones. Fakie balance is what you need in order for what I'm doing right now to get a ton of rep. So after that, let's see if we can make it to 10,000 by just bunny hopping. That might take a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it. Okay. Yeah, so let's just wait for these points to bank up. Okay, one important thing also is if you respawn while you're getting it's like still at the bottom number, you won't get it, and you gotta wait for it to bank up and like go to like your bottom bar down there. Also, I need to tell you guys the difference between active rep and like still rep. So active rep is what's down there, like 40,000, and in the lobby it might say like 200,000, and you guys are probably like, hey, I have 40,000 rep, and why don't I have the LUX bike? It's because that's all the rep you've owned, and that doesn't really mean anything. So you can't claim anything out of that. It's just all the rep you've ever gotten, like out of your entire lifetime. So let's go ahead and make it to the end. And let's see what crew members we get. Hopefully we get some good ones. Okay, let's see. Fear obstacles is a really good one. Scout nodes is also really good. And in-air correction is also another really good one. So I think now we can just go ahead and do this one. Mellow curvy stunts. You want to aim for the ones that have steepness around 1, 2, or 0. Those are like the best, because if you try to do it on a really steep level, you'll probably die, because the faster you go with the fakie, the harder it is to balance it. And I recommend using the enduro or the hardtail bike, because for the if you want to like do the first strategy where you just got to do a bunch of flips, I recommend the hardtail, because that makes doing flips a lot easier and faster. And if you want to do the fakie strategy, I say go with the enduro bike or the downhill bike. Actually, wait, no, not the downhill bike, because you really don't want to be going fast, because it'll make it harder to steer, and it kind of increases the chances of you falling. So let's try to aim for 60,000 rep on this one. So let's wait for the points to go down there, and let's just redeem these extra ones. So now we can just go ahead and do this all over again. Let's try to do a front flip. Okay. And then now we can just start doing this fakie again. Okay, be careful not to go too fast, because you'll probably die, because the faster you go with the fakie, I've already explained this, the harder it is to steer. Okay, so let's try to aim for about 60,000 or 70,000 rep on this. And then we should be good after this. We'll make it to 60,000, and we'll probably just do maybe 2 or 3 more runs after this to just get as much rep. So I'll probably be on this level for a while, because this is the last one that's kind of like or the fakie. We do have that 2-bar one, like the one with 2 steepness, but that's kind of dangerous, and I kind of don't want to risk it. So let's do a front flip to get back to that 3 times multiplier, so you can get a bunch of rep or more rep. So let's just So also, don't go too fast because you guys might notice the faster you go, the more rep you get. But that's kind of you don't want to do that because it might give you a little bit more rep, except it's going to be a lot harder to steer, as you guys are kind of seeing. Like, it makes you kind of tilt over to the side. Getting piggy balance just makes this so much easier, and we'll probably keep doing this till we get like 80,000, and maybe once we get to 250,000, I'll stop and claim my rewards. So let's try to get back to that 3 times multiplier. Okay. So let's get back to that 3 times, and then we can start riding again. Okay, so let me go into attack mode, so it just makes it a lot easier to steer. Or it gives me more precise steering. Okay. Don't touch the barrier because that will kill you. So let's finish this. And then this should... Okay, let's try to get to 90,000. Because, okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that the more times you do one trick, the more times you don't get as much rep from it. So if you keep doing this trick over and over again, it'll slowly start to give you less rep. And that's just like kind of like an easier way to explain it. So let's go ahead and do this for a couple more times. And that the thing that removes obstacles is really a game changer because it kind of removes some of the trees, which makes it a lot easier to fakie without having to worry with the, like running into a tree or any pyramids. Let's go ahead and do this one more time to get to 100k rep. And then hopefully we can find some other ones that are 1 bar, I mean like 1 steepness or 0 steepness, because those you want to aim for. But if you're feeling a little bit brave and you already have experience for this, I'd say maybe aim for it too, because it's going to be a lot more steeper and it's going to be a little bit more harder to steer, but you will get a little bit more. Okay, be careful though, because you don't want to die. And once you get to the end of the map, you don't want to touch that barrier, like I've already said, because oh no, we died. So we made it to 50,000. We were about to make it to 10,000. Let's see if we got anything. Oh, we got the high voltage bike. For a second, I thought that was a LUX bike, but that does actually look extremely cool. And we'll go ahead and go see that in the lobby. So whenever you're at 50,000, there's a 20% chance of getting an extraordinary item, which the LUX items are extraordinary, and like mostly like a 90 or 80% of getting blue items. So this bike actually looks really cool. It's kind of like a LUX bike, and it's kind of like a LUX bike, but it's not a LUX bike. But LUX bikes do look a lot similar to that. So I'll see you in the next video, and that is how you get a LUX bike. Bye!